tomorrow night sees the latest NXT special Takeover Dallas happening at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Centre, and it, for most people, will kick off their WrestleMania weekend. Before I give my preview and predictions for this event, I want to very quickly send my sincerest condolences and prayers to the family and friends of English wrestler Chris Travis, who sadly passed away this morning after a very lengthy and very brave battle with cancer. So on the NXT special, what two things really occurs to me as I look at the card for this event. Number one, this has the potential to be an extremely good event. It could be one of the top events of the year. The second thought that also occurred to me is, and it's a topic perhaps for another time, the amount of top worldwide stars that WWE have invested in over the last 2 years now has been really amazing. The amount of people they've signed, and also of course just yesterday we got confirmation that I think it's Shane Nichols and Mikey Haste of the Mighty Don't Kneel tag team are going to NXT, and I believe they will be appearing on NXT programming post WrestleMania. I don't think there'll be too much of a delay seeing those guys on television. Obviously, this is going to be on the WWE Network, so I want to go through the card and give a few of my do a few predictions. Do say who I think will actually win these matches. First of all, Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin. Now, this obviously comes from Baron Corbin really attacking Austin Aries when Austin Aries was being unveiled to the NXT fans at Full Sail. Was it Full Sail? Well, certainly on the tapings a few weeks ago, Austin Aries came out, Baron Corbin attacked him. This is a storyline where Baron Corbin is, of course, jealous of all these guys coming in, and from his opinion, and this really seems based in reality because we saw it on the Breaking Ground WWE Network series, which if you haven't watched it at all, which I think most people have watched the series, it's really, really good, and it's certainly the real thoughts of Baron Corbin, that all of these independent stars, the Samoa Joes, the Apollo Crews, and now the Austin Aries of wrestling are coming in and leaping in front of him for championship matches and opportunities. I think this will be a really good match. I'm going to go Baron Corbin for the win. I don't think it would harm Austin Aries to lose. Aries, former world champion, he is a top star, and I think a Baron Corbin win would be good to kick off this, well, to continue this feud. I'd like to see them have a couple of matches. It's really partly maybe about the only match I have a little bit of concern about, the chemistry of the two guys, or the people involved in the match, I should really say, but I think it's going to be good. I'm going to pick Baron Corbin for the win. I think it's his time almost. I think he's certainly got the potential, certainly, and I'll talk about it more as I go along the card, or about the rumours of possibilities of post-WrestleMania call-ups. Corbin is one of the guys that will be carrying, I think, NXT for the rest of 2016. So I'm going to go Baron Corbin for the win. The second match, the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, who will defend the NXT Tag Team Championships against American Alpha, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. One thing I want to mention on this is, it seems certainly, obviously, a WWE thing, but it seems that something has been, some edict, some ruling or whatever has been handed down by the management, because suddenly these teams have got names. These teams have got official tag team names. It was just Dawson and Wilder, and it was Reddy Willing and Gable, really, for Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. Now they're known as the Revival and American Alpha. obviously that edict, that thing, that ruling has come down from WWE for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe WWE don't think they have enough identity. This match I really look forward to. I'm a fan of tag team wrestling, always have been. I would I really like the old school work that Dawson and Wilder has done. They really take it back, as many people have said, to the likes of the work of Arn and Ole Anderson of the Four Horsemen, and even to Arn and Tully Blanchard. The work that they did, the kind of really 1980s with old style tag team wrestling in their work. I think that's great, and of course American Alpha, they're bringing a more of a modern day kind of aspect to their tag team work, which obviously makes it a good, a good face-up. It's a good match-up. It's a good combination, a good chemistry for this match. I'm really looking forward to seeing this. I'm going to go American Alpha, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Dawson Wilder have held it for quite a while now, and although I could see the Revival retaining, I can see either team winning on this match, but I'm going to plump for American Alpha because I think taking the titles off Dawson and Wilder wouldn't hurt them too much. I think it would be a great boost for Jordan and Gable, and I think again this could keep the feud going. And with, like you said, tag teams like like the Mighty Don't Kneel coming in to NXT, and I think we're going to see some. I think obviously NXT has some good tag teams in their roster right now. I think changing the title would prove a great WrestleMania. It'll be a great WrestleMania moment, kind of, for NXT to have. Apollo Crews versus Elias Sampson. To be honest, I haven't seen too much of Elias Sampson. I've seen a couple of his matches. I haven't really. I've flicked through NXT the last couple of weeks. I haven't seen much of his work. I'm going to go Apollo Crews for this match because, again, just like Baron Corbin, I think Apollo Crews is one of the guys that the NXT are looking up to in continuing the rest of 2016. Apollo Crews is a great wrestler, formerly at Wuhan Nation, one of the most highly rated wrestlers across the world before he got signed, and continues to be so. I'm going to go Apollo Crews. I'm going to have to go look back at Elias Sampson since his debut on WWE Network on the NXT programs and see what I really think of him. I'm not too sure. I don't really have a huge grip of the character. So I'm just going to go Apollo Crews because I think, again, just like American Alpha, it could be a great moment to kind of springboard the rest of the year for Apollo Crews. Now, next comes to the match that I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the main event. I think that'll be good, but the match I'm really looking forward to, I think the match that a lot of people are looking forward to, it's Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Unbelievable. Now, very quick note, and I know it really doesn't mean a lot, but Nakamura, I noticed, some point over the last 2 days has had a WWE Superstar profile added to WWE.com. It's in the NXT section where you could scroll down. I think they've made a lot of changes to the WWE website, which, to be honest, I preferred the old setup. But sometimes you can have a problem when you're trying to scroll down to see things the way it is. But it's great for Shinsuke Nakamura that he now has a profile on the WWE network. It really confirms, it's like one of the final things that really confirms he is a member of WWE, not New Japan now. So this match, Sami Zayn was surprised by William Regal of who his opponent would be at Takeover Dallas. Sami Zayn, I'm not entirely sure of his history, whether he's faced Nakamura before. I believe he possibly hasn't. But anyway, these two guys worked across the world. This should be possibly Match of the Year candidate. I know NXT have recently released a DVD with NXT's greatest matches, and I firmly believe that this could actually be included in the next volume. If they do another volume, and I haven't got the DVD, I'm seriously considering ordering it online because there are some really top matches. We've had the privilege of it. I think it is, to be honest, the privilege of seeing NXT from the very beginning here in the UK. It used to be on Sky Sports satellite television channel. So we've seen it since the start, even when it was the kind of reality contest with like Daniel Bryan. Really looking forward to this match. I think it should be a cracking match. I'm going to go Shinsuke Nakamura for the win on this. Sami Zayn has got a huge weekend. Facing Shinsuke Nakamura. Then he's in the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. And I'll have a video, a preview in WrestleMania. Probably I'll put it up tomorrow. So I'm still to record it as I'm recording this video. Sami Zayn's got a huge weekend, and along with a lot of people, I've listened to the Bell to Bell radio podcast just last night. They do it live on Spreaker, and it's also available on iTunes afterwards. And I think a lot of people in the chat room were agreeing with what the guys were saying, what Chris Duke, The Gru, and Charles Phoenix were saying, in that we believe that this is probably going to be the last match of Sami Zayn in NXT. We all feel that he's going up to the main roster permanently post this weekend. So I would say, just because he's coming in, he's a huge star, and I'm really interested in seeing and hearing what his theme tune will be. I'm going Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura, King of Strong Style, legitimately one of the best wrestlers in the world. I think Sami Zayn is also up there with it in that kind of pedigree, and I think that this will be a really good match. It might end up with Sami Zayn doing a lot of selling for Nakamura. I think Nakamura could do well in this match by selling some of Sami Zayn's offense quite a bit as well. Have it go from Sami Zayn dominating, Shinsuke Nakamura dominating in periods. I don't know how long these matches will get, but I think if both guys sell for each other for a decent few minutes at least at some point in the match, I think that could make the match really good, because that's what those two guys do really well. They sell. I'm going to go Nakamura for the win, because I think him coming in, Sami Zayn going out, there's only really one outcome to this match, but I'm really looking forward to it. I can see Shinsuke Nakamura hitting the knee and taking this victory. I really hope that we see a really motivated Nakamura. I don't think he would have moved to NXT, to WWE, if he really didn't want to further himself or really work hard, because he was in a tremendous position which he could have kept for the rest of his career in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So it is the match I'm looking forward to. It's going to be a great match. I'm going to go Shinsuke Nakamura for the win, and I really look forward to hearing what his theme tune is. There are rumours that his New Japan theme, I believe it's called Subconscious, has been bought, or the rights to it have been bought by WWE. We won't know until he actually enters the arena, the convention centre, to face Sami Zayn. Which is one thing I will say before I move on to the penultimate match. I really hope we don't see Nakamura until he makes his entrance to that match. I hope we don't see him backstage. I hope we don't see him interviewed. I think the best way for WWE to get a reaction for Nakamura on this Takeover show is not let us see him until that entrance. It's going to be a great match again. Nakamura for the win. I can't wait to see it. Fifth match, Bayley will defend the NXT Women's Championship against Asuka. Now, again, I said earlier, there are a lot of rumours about people going up to the main roster for after this weekend, and Bayley is one of those. I can honestly believe that she'll be on the main roster very soon. Probably by the end of the year. I would like to see Bailey maybe stick around for a little while, but the various reports, and again I've said it many times, different reports come from different supposed sources in wrestling, that'll say different things. One will say that somebody's career has ended. We got it all the time with the Daniel Bryan situation. Oh, he's been cleared to wrestle. He's been cleared by WWE to wrestle. He's going to be back next week. Oh no, his career is over, which turned out to be the case. Various reports say various things, but I could honestly see Bailey with the loss, it looks like, of Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, but certainly if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's the Thank You Daniel Bryan show on the WWE Network, the 24/7 episode. I would say that Brie Bella is looking for an out, and a very out soon, as terms to her WWE career. The way that Daniel Bryan is talking, he wants to have kids with her pretty soon, pretty damn soon. So I would say Bree's looking a way out, and I think with the losses of the Bellas, and with possible roster changes as well, I think we'll see Bailey coming up to the main roster. I, I kind of, it does make me think we have the possibility of maybe four-way matches between Bailey, Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte. I think four-way match, a pay-per-view for the Divas Championship or Women's Championship. Various reports about WWE rebranding that title, but the main roster Women's Championship, Divas Championship, whatever you want to call it. I would love to see a four-way match with those women, those wrestlers, at a WWE pay-per-view coming up soon. So I'm going to go Asuka for the win, for Asuka to take the NXT Women's Championship. The women's division in NXT, I don't think is in as a strong position as the male roster, but I would love to see Asuka take the NXT Women's Championship, especially if it seems, it does seem in my opinion, they're getting ready to call Bailey up. Asuka taking the Women's Championship, a complete change I think will happen for NXT in this event. I would like it to happen anyway. As I move on to the main event, Finn Balor defending the NXT Championship against Samoa Joe, and again, complete change for NXT I believe will happen in this event. I certainly think this will kind of mark the end of an era in NXT, because I'm going to go Samoa Joe for the victory and the new NXT champion. We know that Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are coming in to WWE, and it seems from all that's been reported, they're coming into the main roster. And I honestly don't see them coming in without some kind of relationship with Finn Balor, the former leader of the Bullet Club when he was Prince Devitt in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I honestly think they'll rekindle the relationship. I believe we will see them Bulletproof or Balor Club. To be honest, I think I'd prefer to see them as Balor Club, because the t-shirts are already so popular. Bulletproof, it just sounds too much of a Bullet Club kind of rip-off. I know that the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are calling themselves the Elite now, and I do believe, according to New Japan Pro Wrestling themselves, they still own the rights to the name Bullet Club. So I think Bulletproof might be just a little bit too similar. I don't know whether New Japan Pro Wrestling would take any action against WWE for calling a group Bulletproof, which features, it would be such an obvious similarity to the Bullet Club with Finn Balor and Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows in the unit, in the stable, whatever you want to call it. So I would kind of prefer to go Balor Club. We'll wait and see. I think Bulletproof seems to be the favourite amongst many people's opinions of what that stable will be called when they arrive. What role, whether they'll play a role in WrestleMania, the Hell in a Cell, whatever, I don't know. I'll discuss that when I do my WrestleMania 32 preview, and there's a hell of a lot of matches actually taking place on Sunday, but certainly I'm going to go for Samoa Joe to take the victory over Finn Balor, I mean, again, just like a few of the matches, I can see either men or either competitor winning that match. But I'm going to go Samoa Joe. I would love to see Samoa Joe hold the NXT Championship. Balor's held it for quite some time. He's done very well with it. And if we're not going to see Balor go up to the main roster or form a relationship immediately with Anderson and Gallows, they can easily have another championship match, whether it be another NXT special or just simply on the NXT television program itself, switching the championship back to Finn Balor if they believe that Samoa Joe as champion hasn't worked or isn't going to work, or whatever their feelings are, that perhaps it was just intended as a short title victory for Samoa Joe. I can see either gentleman walking out of NXT Takeover Dallas with the victory, but I would prefer Samoa Joe, so I'm going to go Samoa Joe to win this match. Overall, like I said, a great roster of talent involved in the show. It's going to be a great event. I'm going to sit up on Friday night going into Saturday morning UK time and watching it. I think it could be the better wrestling show of the weekend, but like I said, it's going to kick off most people's WrestleMania weekend, but I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's one that people are not going to regret sitting and watching live on the WWE Network.